And as I also feared, it didn't help me much removing and testing the surface there. It blew up a few places, but if I shall trust this now as the reference, this proved not to be very accurate in plane with here. So going from one side to the other here, you see, then there's quite a lot of movement. And also if I go from just 0 here and then going over, and it's evident then that it's higher here and lower as I go here. And also higher as I go here and lower as I go this way. So I guess I could have saved myself the trouble, because it could be that they have aligned these two so that either it is compensating for the weight of the head or the column is skewed anyway. But if I scrape this flat to that, given that it's not out of alignment here, and I will test that too, then that might lead the column to be shifting. So I mean, more work anyway. So let's test this too. So I go down here. I know that this is worn, of course. I just want to get an idea. So going over here, I see it's going, it's high on me there. Yeah, at the very end here. So if that is sort of 0, and I adjust it here, goes low and low and low, so in the ballpark the same way as my reference here. And then we can try the opposite side here, just rearranging this. So call that 0 again, or rather up here, find the 0 there. Like so, and then run it. And the same thing happens, it goes low, meaning that these three are in plane and out of plane with this, vice versa. This is out of plane with all three. So I assume I can be quite safe in my assumption that I can start off with this and then correct the plane over where the column sits. So now I'm merely trying to improve the alignment between these two pads, call that one surface, and to this now reference plane. And I see that it's high up here, and it's also high on this. So when I scrape one cycle, and then I can measure here, it's plus 20, and down here it's plus also 20, so now it's fairly even there. And this side, it's 0 down here, I think it was, yes. So it's plus 10 up here. So I need to take that further down and also here. So I can do that in two steps, I guess. I'll first take that, since it was 0 here, and then plus 10 and plus 20-ish. I'll take this down to at least plus 10, and then we can, well, yeah, at least I'll take that down first. It's improving after a few cycles. And of course now the real question is how this now measures. You see it's still a little bit high. And now managed to flatten it, so these blue points are now in the same plane. I'm a little bit low here, but now I can lower the whole surface down, and it's also in plane that way with the reference over here. So I think that was an okay battle plan, really, even though I had to take off the column here. So now I'll scrape this, I would say enough at least to a static fit. Only thing is over here a little bit low, but and now it's in plane with the new reference, so to speak. So I will also then take the dovetails and the flats. But first I will then do the saddle, because that can be used as template, of course, for where it shall rest, of course, for the ways here. So having now used the saddle as a template here, I have markings at least lengthwise and also on the opposite side. So even though the surface quality is not good enough at all, and that will be improved, I will now use that again to mark up on where the foot is for the column. So I'll use that to establish the relationship to the foot, so the alignment here, and then also then measured from here down here, and then scraped down so that they are equal, so that all are at least co-planar. So I'm now sort of finished, at least so I can take it one step further with respect to alignment. The first thing I did was to measure up. As you saw, I proved that this surface was higher than this, going from what was then just relief here and over here. I saw that was probably so that this was higher, but I couldn't really tell for 100% because I did not know how this surface was. So then I tried to prove that surface to these surfaces. So I lifted off the column. Didn't help me that much really, because they were not really that good either. But at least then going from this to this and this to this, I have now matched these two surfaces. And then I have matched these two to that first, and then to flatten these I've used the saddle, of course, running up and down, so I have a sort of okay not coverage, but at least I know that lengthwise is okay. So my plan further now is to use the saddle here, and then to point over here, and then establish a 100% correct alignment between these surfaces. Also proven that the dovetails were not that much worn really, and are not much off now. So now my goal is to have it within 4/10 or 1/100 of a millimeter altogether every way here, this base. And in retrospect, of course, the easiest thing, because scraping 10 hundreds, that's 4,000s, is a lot, and I should have, if I had a mill or a planer, used that. So the best thing would probably have been to send or to bring this whole piece, just take off this base piece over to my friend with a big CNC mill with an envelope of 1 cubic meter, and then he could just, you know, do this in one operation almost, I guess, with even the dovetails. So if you are doing this for a customer, so to speak, that's one evaluation at least you'll need to figure out.